That's right, and we'll talk about that affair more in just a moment. But first, as for Larry's cell phone, a DA investigator was on the witness stand today, and he testified that Larry's cell phone was off for 12 hours the day after Maya disappeared, and he said that it had been intentionally turned off, even though there was more than 80% of battery life left. And he said what stood out to him about this that was unusual was because Larry's typical cell phone usage, the phone wasn't idle for more than 5 minutes. So DA investigator James Rhodes back on the witness stand again today. This afternoon, he testified that Larry was the so-called anonymous whistleblower who was sending emails to the executive director of Maya's workplace about Maya having an affair, which eventually led the director to order an investigation. Now, Rhodes also testified about several Google searches found on Larry's phone for things like poison hemlock, my wife is no longer interested in me. There were searches about suicide. How quickly do you die when you're shot in the heart? Does a gunshot in the head cause faster death than a shot in the heart? Now, going back to the affair issue regarding Larry, to be clear, it actually came up during previous testimony with Maya's sister-in-law, Genesis. This morning, it was brought up again during Christine Timmer's testimony. The affair apparently happened several years ago before Maya and Larry had children. The defense said it's irrelevant. The prosecution disagreed. And the judge eventually sided with the defense, but pointed out it's not like Larry's affair is a secret because it was already brought up previously. Now, things continued, that is, to get tense between the prosecution and the defense. There was also a fight between the attorneys about a screenshot found on Larry's phone of a CNN article regarding the Gabby Petito case, which is a well-known case about a domestic violence murder. The headline was about Brian Landry's behavior following the murder. That screenshot was found on Larry's phone September of 2021, the month before he was arrested for Maya's murder. So back out here live, however, a judge ruled that that screenshot was irrelevant, so a jury never got to see it. Anna and Carlo.
Wow, Kelly. I mean, it sounds like the atmosphere today was tense. What happened during cross-examination of that investigator Rhodes?
Yeah, things continue to stay tense. Now, the defense was trying to poke holes in Rhodes' credibility, saying that you're not this specialized cell phone expert, are you? But the line of questioning was so confusing that Rhodes kept saying, you know, can you repeat the question? I don't understand it. And it got to the point finally that the defense was like, I don't even remember what the question was. Everybody in the courtroom was restless. I could see the jury. Some of the jurors actually had their heads in their hands and looked pretty annoyed about the whole situation.
And Kelly, you've been covering this for a while. Is this the first time you've heard about the allegations of Larry having an affair? We've heard about the allegations about Maya's relationship, but I hadn't heard about this one before. I may have missed it.
Yeah, this is something that did not come up in the preliminary hearing a couple of years ago. So yes, this was definitely new information.
And so the jury, he said that they couldn't bring it up more in the trial, but they already heard the beginning of it, didn't they?
Right. So just to be clear, two different witnesses have already testified about this affair. Genesis Tabalanza, Maya's sister-in-law, testified about it very briefly when she was up on the witness stand. It came up again with Christine Timmers, one of Maya's friends. And so that was what the fight was about. Could the prosecution go deeper and talk more about this affair that Larry had had? And the judge said no.
All right. Kelly Hestall reporting live. A lot going on in the courtroom today. Thank you, Kelly.